And if you're doing that and you trust everybody else is doing that, we'll all be fine because we'll all have what we need and we'll all be fully in our power. And there's room for all us to all be fully in our power. So what do you want to do next? You owe it to yourself. You owe it to the world to do that. Don't hold us back by holding yourself back. Because you going after what you see, you going after what you love, you going after what you're called to do, frees up the next person to do that. Understand that every time you shrink yourself, you're giving it, you're affirming that that's what it takes. That's what it takes to be comfortable here. Every time you shrink yourself, the person next to you is like, damn, all right, I gotta shrink myself. The person across me has to shrink themselves. Your family members who are watching you, who are taking notes, your little siblings, your kids, they're like, oh, okay, I have to shrink myself. So understand that you shrinking yourself to make other people comfortable, or to feel like that's what you have to do to make things work, you're only upholding that illusion for all of us, because everybody's gonna continue to do that. Because look, they have to do it. Like, look, that's just reality. But think about if everybody was like, you know what, I'm living in my truth. There would be no room for anybody to feel no differently, because that's not the reality. If he's living in his truth, he's living in his truth, she's living in her truth, my daddy lived in his truth, my auntie lived in her truth, how could I possibly say I have to shrink? That's bullshit. So understand that every time you stand up and you go after your world and you own that you know what's going on, and that the things that you see and your visions are the reality, and you owe it to yourself and the rest of us to achieve everything you see for yourself, that frees up the next person to understand that the same thing. And that domino effect changes everything. That person understands it, that person understands, that person understands it. You're gonna be looking around and everybody's living in their truth and realizing that that's all we needed to do. And the fact that all the things that we're not happy with, all of the things that we're dissatisfied with, everything that's, you know, the things that are imposed on us and the ways that they control us, understand that at the end of the day, all that's only upheld by compliance. If we all decided, like, you know what, fuck this doesn't work for any of us, none of us are happy, we're not doing this anymore, what could they really do? Like if we all decide, like, you know, we're not working 40 hours a week to not have no time for ourselves, to pour into our loved ones, to pour into our passions, to spend time with spirit, to do all those things just to make someone else richer. If we all decide we weren't doing that anymore, what could they do? Realistically, everybody can't be fired, everybody can't be homeless, everybody can't, like, they would have to adjust, things would just change, because at the end of the day, they like their power and they understand that they only have power because we continue to comply. Like, so if we stop complying, they'd have to change things to get us in compliance again. But at the end of the day, we have the say, we have the power. So understand that if you're not with it, if you don't fuck with some shit, you owe it to yourself and the rest of us to own that and stand on that. And understand that, yeah, it might be scary, you might, damn, like, I need this stuff. But understand that a lot of people feel the same ways. But I look around and I don't see anybody who's just happy dealing with a lot of this crap, a lot of these illusions. But what I do see is people who have accepted that that's life and that that's reality and that that's the truth, and that you just got to deal with it. That's what I see more so. I see a lot of people are on the same page about that. And what I also see is that if everybody feels that way, if everybody stood on that, there would be real change. Because at the end of the day, we are the majority, and that all this, you know, like I said, compliance is the only thing upholding all of this stuff. So at the point the compliance is gone, change happens, because it has to. So, yeah, that being said, I'm just saying, it's your world. I'm not trying to radicalize anybody, but understand, like, being radical is very valid. And understand that, you know, if you're tired, then that's okay. It may be time. It may be time to, you know, stand up for yourself, to advocate for yourself, and to give yourself what you need and what you want and fill into your cup. Because that allows you to do everything you need to do for the rest of the world. But it starts with you. You have to be fulfilled. You have to be happy. Your cup has to be full first before you can help anybody else. Like they say on planes. If you ever rode on a plane, you know, they say put on your oxygen mask in case of an emergency. Put on yours first before helping anyone else, because you have to. How can you help anybody if you fuck around and you can't breathe? Now you fucked up. It's like, damn, you could have helped so many people if you made sure you were all right first. And that's not selfish. I promise you, it's not selfish. Understand that you being your best is what it takes to be able to help anybody. If you're down bad, you're all beat up, bruised, and battered, you can't help anybody. You can't help yourself, you can't help anybody else. So make sure you're good. Please make sure you're good. And then from there, you can do everything else. But on the bottom, the full card, this is the beginning. For some of you, you may be hearing shit you've never heard before, or maybe things you've only thought about but didn't understand, didn't think other people felt the same way, or didn't know that, you could feel that way. So allow this to be the point where you move in that knowing. I bet there's a squirrel in the tree or something making noise. I've had an iguana fall on my head before, so I take note of all the sounds that happen. But yeah, understand that this is you now. It's time. Let this be point zero before you take that first step in that new direction. You're not the same person you were 40 minutes ago before you started watching this. You're different now, and you owe it to yourself to show up differently. You owe it to yourself to show up in the energy and the essence of these new knowings that you now have. And I'm excited for you, because I know if you came across me, you came across this video, you came across these messages, that it's time to be something different. It's time to elevate. It's time to change. We didn't cross paths for you to stay the same. I've learned a lot in my life, and especially the last few years, that the people I cross paths with are ready and on the verge of breakthroughs and big shifts and quantum leaps. So if you're here, I trust that it's no different for you, and that at some point you may be able to look back and you'll be able to realize that this was the point that everything changed for you. And I'm excited, and I love that I'm able to be a vessel in that way, and that I'm able to, to help people elevate, because that's all I want to do, is inspire people to be their best selves, inspire them to grow, and inspire them to see themselves for who they really are, because we are all so fucking magical, bro. Like, we are all everything, and we are truly, we're truly gods here, like, and that's not in a, like I said, that's not from the ego. That's not, I'm God, or I'm a God. Like, no, but understand that, hey, Christianity teaches that you're made in God's image. And what does that mean? We're gods. And we're gods of our reality. And every day we're able to make choices and create life how we want to. We're able to decide who gets to be a part of our story, who doesn't get to be a part of our story. We get to decide, what exists in our world and what doesn't. Like, there's been, like, even something as simple as social media, like, there's been people I've unfollowed, like, I feel, and then, like, literally forgot they exist. Like, it feels like they were just removed from my reality. And then you realize, like, a lot of things in your orbit are there because you choose to allow them to be there. Like, you can easily remove yourself. You can easily remove people from your life. You can easily do all that. Like this is a drastic example, but if you don't like your family, like, they say you can't choose your family, like, you definitely can. Like, what's stopping you from dipping and never talking to them again? Like, you can move across the country, block them on social media, change your number, and then they don't exist. Like, how will they just pop up in your orbit? How will they just pop up in your life? They can't. So, like, yeah, by blood you can't choose for them to not be related to you, but they don't have to exist in your world. Like, so understand that we are gods, and we always have a choice, and that it's in our best interest to be intentional with everything, and understand that yeah, being God in your reality is not just the power, it's a responsibility. Understand that gods don't misuse their power. God is a loving person, or a loving being. God loves you. God creates and shares with others. God teaches. God educates. God doesn't take advantage of those who don't understand that they're God as well. So understand that, yeah, we are gods, but if you're gonna own that, understand that you have to own that from every angle. Understand that you have a responsibility to take care of the people who don't know that they're God yet, who don't see their own divinity yet. Understand that you have to be gracious with those people. You have a responsibility to educate. You have a responsibility to love. You have a responsibility to carry that weight and to spread that light in places where it's dark right now. So I don't want to hear, oh, I am a God, or I am God, and you're only using that to disempower others. You're only using that to big up your chest and to shrink other people and to take and to, not to give. Because I feel like that's the bigger responsibility. The responsibility is bigger than the power itself. So understand that, yes, you are God. Take your power back. But understand that, hey, two sides of that coin. You have responsibility, and I'm holding you accountable to that responsibility. Don't go around talking about, Easy told me I'm God, and you just walking around beating your chest and bullying people. because fuck that. That's not what we're talking about here. So yeah, walk forward in this knowing you have the power. You are empowered. You are divinely supported, divinely protected, and divinely guided. So allow yourself to walk in that knowing. Don't overthink too many things. Understand there are no wrong decisions. Just being, as long as you're intentional and you know where you're trying to go, allow everything else to flow. Because as long as you're intentional and you keep that knowing, like your path, it's built already. It's waiting on you. It's when you're not being intentional, where you don't have that clear idea where you're going, that you end up, anywhere. But if you're clear on where you're going, what you want, allow those things to show up that lead you there. It doesn't take you being hella hands-on and forcing things to happen, because the times of living like that are over. Like, yes, that may have worked in the past, like grind culture, hustle culture for sure. But now we're moving into a world where intentionality is everything. Pushing the truth is everything. The truth of oneness is everything. Elevating the world. Like I said, the world's trying to heal. Gaia, the planet, is a conscious being. And if you're not helping the world heal, success will be hard to find right now. We're not just making people rich just to make them rich. I know you see, but I hope that you also see that things are falling apart. The world, the order that has been is falling apart. So understand that that's not the way forward anymore. Forcing your way and hoarding wealth and all that's not the way forward anymore. Oneness is everything. But yeah, and also look into these things. Like, understand that I'm not just talking out my ass. You don't have to just believe me, but do your own research. Go within yourself, meditate, and also just Google some of these things. Look into the conversations other people are having, the things that other people are picking up on. And understand that there's going to be a lot of parallel, and that's where we're going. Love is the way forward. Community is the way forward. Understanding that energy and everything is the way forward. And the world is changing, and it already has changed, honestly. And now we're just seeing like the last little, the end before it kind of trickles out. But at the end, like things, like the death card itself, through chaos is new beginnings. Things have to come to an end before new things start. So understand that the times we're in right now are not to be feared, but understand that this is the big finale. This is the big ending. It is the end of the world, but not in that sense. It's the end of the world as we know it, and the birth of a new world. So yeah, I don't know. These messages are very big. I don't know. I wasn't expecting a lot of what has come through to come through, and for us to be touching on a lot of these topics, but it feels good because it affirms that it's time. Yeah, because these are conversations I've had. These are things I've known, but not anything I've been hella called to share or talk about with you guys or anybody, or most people really. But the fact that it's coming up now is like, okay, it tells me that we're at a place, and like I said, the scales have been tipped. What's next is everything. So